Last time on the Ultimate Cowboy Showdown, go!
Ride, Katie, ride!
Katie Jo snagged her first immunity buckle. Here's your buckle.
Thank you.
She didn't see him coming.
Jackson played the game.
Oh, Jennifer almost went off. She's trying to stay on.
That was playing dirty, Jackson.
I just bailed off in it.
And then lost his way.
Which way's north and south? And
You're just gonna have to figure that out.
So there's your spool, Jackson. Wherever Jackson went.
The main thing that went wrong today was Jackson didn't ride his country.
In the end, I saw Jen's side of things and sent Jackson packing. Jackson, pack your personals, hit the trail. You're done here.
yes, sir. I screwed up today, and I know that. Nobody has to tell me that. I know.
And now, the top 5. Who will ride on and who will be sent home in the next elimination? Only one will take home the $50,000 worth of cattle, an Arrowquip Q-Catch cattle chute, and a rawhide portable corral. Who will win the Ultimate Cowboy Showdown?
I can't believe that it's the final 5. I feel like I can taste it. It's right there. You know, I have no idea what we're doing today, but I am bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, and I'm ready to take on this day.
All right, Cowboys, you are the top 5. Congratulations. Well, with only 5 of you left, the immunity buckle has never been more important. And this will be the final immunity buckle challenge of the competition.
This is the very last immunity challenge, so this is my last shot at winning one. Everybody else here has got one. I think I deserve one.
Today's immunity buckle challenge is all about your horsemanship, roping, and smarts. We're gonna do some trivia the cowboy way. I want the prize herd to go to a cowboy that knows cattle, horses, and cowboy history inside and out. Cattle in this arena all have signs on them. Red is false, yellow is true. I'll ask you a true-false trivia question about cattle ranching. First cowboy to rope a steer with the correct answer gets the point. If you answer wrong, you're out. But don't try to play it safe. If we get down to only one cowboy and they haven't earned any points, the challenge is over and there's no winner. Cowboy with the most points at the end wins this Montana Silversmith immunity buckle and is safe for the next elimination. All right, let's have some fun.
It's going to be really hard to beat Tyler and myself and Katie doing this because we all 3 rope really sharp and really fast horses, so you've got to actually be smarter, outrun us, and rope better. I mean, the odds are not in JP's favor here, and I am going to do my best to not let him win this immunity buckle today.
All right, Cowboys, here's your first one. The registered Brangus breed of cattle is a crossbreed combining 3/8 Brahman genes and 5/8 Angus genes. Is it true or is it false?
True. Katie's got it true. Hold up.
Well, I know that that's the 2 cows, and I'm like, that sounds kind of right. I don't really know, but I'm just gonna go with it.
All right, Katie Jo, you wrote true?
Yeah,
Did you know that or are you guessing?
I just took a wild guess.
You were right.
Thank you, sir.
That's 1 point. All right, we're ready for the second one. Cattle cannot swim. Is it true or false?
Unroasted.
Oh,
In pursuit of roping the one that I wanted, a true cow ran underneath my horse and we ended. Almost took me out of the game.
your horse good?
Yeah.
You all right?
Yes, sir.
All right, Hunter, you wrote
False.
false.
Yeah.
Of course they can. That was a gimme.
Yeah.
You got a point.
I've been in the top of every immunity challenge, and I'm going to be in the top of this one. That's hands down how I feel, and it's the way it's going to go.
The Aberdeen Angus breed of cattle was originally bred in the Netherlands.
My strategy is to let people take themselves out and then just step in, and I could take that extra swing if I needed it and just get one roped and be right.
Is that true or is it false?
Got one. Jump Paul, jump Paul, jump Paul.
You know, this question, I did not have a clue about what the answer was. First one come across me was true, and I went and roped him. So, rolled the dice.
John Paul, what'd you rope?
True.
Had you heard that before, or?
No, sir, I just took a wild guess.
Aberdeen, they originated in Scotland. So, false. You're out.
JP, he was wrong. So, sorry, JP.
All right, so Katie Jo has a point, Hunter has a point. All right, the famous King Ranch in Texas is larger than the entire state of Rhode Island. Is that true or false? Tyler got it.
Ever since I was a little kid, I've been told how big the King Ranch was. It had its own town on the ranch. And Rhode Island, I mean, it's just a little old island. So I think that the King Ranch is bigger.
Tyler, you went with true.
Yes, sir.
You were guessing.
Well, everything I've ever heard about the King Ranch is it's big, and Rhode Island, I ain't never even really talked much about, so it must be small.
You were right.
Thank you.
King Ranch is a huge ranch, and Rhode Island is a itty-bitty state. Okay, the origin of the word cattle comes from the Latin phrase for large hoof. Is that true or false?
Got him.
Katie Jo got a false.
I don't know the origin for the Latin word cattle, but I didn't feel like large hoof was it, so I just went with my gut feeling and I went false.
The word cattle actually comes from the Latin word capitale, and it means personal property.
That makes sense.
You were right. All right, right now we got Hunter at 1, Katie Jo at 2, Tyler at 1. Jen, you need to rope 1.
I have 0 points at this point, which worries me a little bit, but I'm still sticking with my strategy that I can come in strong at the end.
The Dexter breed of cattle is one of the largest breeds in the world, with the bulls usually weighing in at 2,800 to 3,000 pounds. Does anybody know whether that's true or false?
Katie Jo.
Well, Jen missed again. All right, Katie Jo, what'd you rope?
True.
Dexter breed of cattle is one of the smallest breeds of cattle in the world. Bulls weighing in somewhere between 700 to 900 pounds. You're out.
I'm disappointed, man. So JP and I, we're out of the game. We have to sit here and watch and see who gets it. But you know, these guys are gunning for that immunity buckle. It's important, so we'll see what happens.
Cattle have panoramic vision, meaning they can see in excess of 300 degrees. Is that true or false?
Got him right here, right here.
So this is what's going through my head. I got a bull, well, he'll lay down in the pasture. And my favorite thing to do is to sneak up on him from behind and jump on his back, and he don't even know I'm coming.
Cattle have panoramic vision. They see in excess of 300 degrees. Tyler, what'd you say?
I said false. I've seen cattle laying down in the pasture and just for fun snuck up on them, and I don't think I'm real sneaky, so.
You must be pretty sneaky. That one was true.
Doggone.
Me and Jen now, it's down to 2 people. I've got 1 point, she's got 0. It's a given, you know, at this point it's just a given. Go win. That's what I'm here to do, and win is what I'm gonna do.
Hunter, you got 1 point?
Jen has 0.
All right. Okay, here we go. The 19th century Chisholm Trail originated in Texas and ended in South Dakota. Is that true or false? I wonder if Jen will even try to throw a loop. Hunter missed. Jen missed too.
Hurry, Jen, rebuild fast.
The Chisholm Trail. Never even been on it, don't know nothing about it. This was back in the day and I didn't study it. He said it ended in South Dakota. Heck, I'm thinking Belfuse. John Wayne went there in the movie, didn't he?
All right, Hunter, what was your answer?
Belfuse, South Dakota. When you said something about South Dakota, John Wayne, heck, I don't know. I'm wild guessing.
No, they didn't go quite that far north. It ended in Kansas. All right, so Hunter, you're out. Jen, you're the only one left, but you got no points. You can't win this game with no points. So, no buckle.
I messed up because I'm the last man standing, but I have 0 points, which tells me I should have been a little bit more aggressive.
All right, guys. See you tomorrow for another elimination challenge. Coming up on the Ultimate Cowboy Showdown.
What are you doing? JP's putting everybody else in danger.
And later,
Our plan was to never run the
So
bulls.
that bull was walking.
Are you gonna let me talk? Because I let you talk.
Yeah, I'll let you talk.
Okay.
Go on, say it.
I'm trying. Well, JP, you remember this Colt. I think this is the Colt that Hunter rode second.
There you go, Hunter.
Good job, Hunter.
Good job.
Come on, good job. There's one circle.
And I like to get these horses where they're really used to someone being right here and swinging a leg over.
A while back, Trace told us we're gonna have 4 colts to work with. Our project is to, get as far along as we can on these colts. But it's interesting to see how everyone approaches their horses differently.
Like right here, he's gonna give me a pretty fair shot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's pretty used to this now, and he's pretty supple, like coming around here. Like he's wanting to be my friend.
Get on him.
I will. I'll get on him.
Step on him. I'll help you. I got my start with training horses. My dad sent me to the bank to get a $2,000 loan to buy my first horse that I ever bought, 2-year-old. And I'm glad that he did it because it taught me a lot. I learned it's a pressure and release game. If they give to me, I give to them. But if they don't give to me, I don't give to them.
All right, let's see what we've got here.
Training a colt, to me, it's special. It's something, it's like bonding with that horse and making a connection, and all it can do is just learn by signals, and that's a big thing whenever you can take a big creature like that and train them to respond to a human response, It's just very gratifying, and I love it. You're gonna have to get on them back again, what you know. Whoa. Because that'll just create a habit.
So I own a rodeo company, and my job in the rodeo company is not only to execute the production of the rodeo, but during the bronc riding, I'm the pickup man. I'm the guy that handles the bucking horses. I'm very comfortable around bucking horses, wild horses, colts, and I think that really helped with the rest of the process of training a horse.
All right, Cowboys, good morning.
Morning.
You are the top 5. Starting right now, you're no longer on teams. It's every cowboy for themselves. And seeing how none of you won the immunity buckle, any one of you can go home.
Today is the elimination challenge. Nobody has the immunity buckle. Now it's every man for himself. It's $50,000. There's no telling who's gonna go home tonight, but I'm gonna do my best to make sure it's not me.
The field behind you is your herd. Now, we all know what happens. 1 minute the herd's fine, the next minute the neighbor's bull gets in, ruins your day in a hurry. Today, 2 bulls have mixed in with your cattle. The 5 of you will need to work together to get those bulls out of the herd, loaded onto a trailer. You have an hour, but this isn't just about time. It's about doing it safely and orderly. If one of those bulls goes through the fence, don't go riding off after him. It's done at that point.
Yes, sir.
As usual, Cash and Buddy are here. They'll be watching you every step of the way. Mount up and let's go.
What do y'all
Let's
think?
not blow to them, Kai,
No.
and like that's a bad idea.
If you don't mind, I mean, I kind of sometimes like to just rope them without them even knowing that they were even roped.
I agree, and then just drive him out a little bit.
Yeah.
And then, like dally up, like
Get two
getting
ropes
to the
on 'em.
trailers.
Putting on rodeos, I handle bulls every day. That's how I make my living. And when handling bulls, things can go south fast. You gotta have a good plan, and you gotta be handy with whatever you're doing.
I don't know if I necessarily agree with just roping them in the bunch, but if that's what you want to do, we'll do it. Right from the get-go, Tyler and I have different opinions on how we want to do things. He wants to just keep the cattle together, rope one out of the herd, but we're not dealing with your normal, gentle herd cow. You know, these are bulls, they're gonna be rank. The way he wants to do it, it's gonna be a mess. Everybody's gonna be everywhere. I like to isolate them, get them away from the herd, rope one, and that way everybody's together.
Man, like I rope these things all the time and they're so big, if you let one just get to running off and you go to slow them down, sometimes it sucks.
Well,
But that's why we're not gonna
confident in it, we'll try it and see how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, like, if
and
we-
we'll read the situation from there, but
Yeah.
I've just never had done it that way, but if it works, let's
I'm just
try
saying,
it.
if one's standing like 10 foot at me, looking at me, I mean, if you can just rope them without him even knowing, and
Right,
then
but
dowl it.
you may not have that shot.
Right, yeah, if we don't have the
Because
shot,
we
obviously.
aren't in an arena, we're out
Yeah.
in the pasture.
And we don't
you know.
want to run these cows around either, so
No.
you know what I mean?
Let's just do them one at a time.
Yeah.
This is what I do for a living. And I thought that it was funny that out of 5 of us in the strategy, JP, who knows the least about bucking bulls, spoke the most. If you don't know the right way to do it, why even talk? Why not just let the people who do this for a living do it?
All right, y'all ready?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You have 1 hour on the clock. Time starts now.
Easy. Try to not stir them up.
I rode bulls bigger than that in junior rodeo.
Looks like they're easing on up there real slow.
You got the ropes down?
Everybody's got the ropes down, looks like.
We're gonna try to get these bulls out of the herd, and we're in an open pasture. They're with some cows. My thought on this is let's keep them as quiet as possible. The less we jostle them around, the less chance we have of them getting on the fight and hooking a horse or a cowboy.
Do you want to push them? Do y'all want to use that corner or this corner?
Let's use that corner 'cause there's no hay.
They're going to try to go with a bunch of mud, which will work, but you know, that's a lot of pressure on them barbed wire fence, and them bulls are smart. They've already got out once, so,
Right.
you know, they're going to be looking for a fence if they see an opportunity.
Woo, boys, don't push, don't push, don't push.
There's really not going to be a good area.
Let's bring them out here back to the middle and just get around them. That fence ain't no good.
No, it ain't.
All right, I'm gonna ride up here and we'll just keep them in a wad. Easy, JP. What do you think?
I think we're gonna have to sort them out of the bunch, but I mean, if you still want to go with your plan, we'll go with it.
I wouldn't go to swinging like that. Ready?
Oh, looks like Tyler's rope broke loose. Now John Paul's at it. Hunter just roped one at the same time.
Are we roping them both at once?
Why would they do that?
Uh-oh.
All right, Hunter.
So me and Hunter, we've got the Brennel bull, and we look up and JP's got one roped around the brisket. What are you doing? Did you not listen to the plan? Didn't you help make the plan?
Coming up.
You got him by the trailer, but you ain't got help to pull him in the trailer.
Hey, I think I can do it.
Well, if you want to do it, here, have it at it then.
Hey, looks like John Paul got his rope. Oh, Hunter just roped one at the same time.
Roping them both at once?
Why would they do that? JP, what are you doing? Did you not listen to the plan? Didn't you help make the plan?
Okay, I'm going to get the truck.
Just keep going to the truck, JP. JP's by himself right now. I have to go help him. He's gonna get in a really big bind. He's got that bull roped really deep around the neck, and they're heavy, and they're not very friendly. He's gonna get on the fight, and I've got to go try to help him.
Try to get another loop on him if you can.
See, that's why we shouldn't rope two. Somebody's gonna get hooked over there.
JP's putting everybody else in danger. We're having to do this on our own. Everybody's spread thin now. JP's over there, this bull's just spinning around the end of it. I mean, it looked like a pet bull on dental floss.
Katie Joe better get rope on this bull quick. He is angry.
After Tyler took his big miss, I saw an opportunity and was taught, you know, go over there, take the second catch, rope him, shut him down, and hold him.
He shouldn't have roped that bull without us. Now we're short-handed.
You missed him. I just went and picked up your slack. If anything, I did the right thing. He did the wrong thing. He should have caught on the first try. We would have been there together, shut that bull down, and everything would have been just right.
John Paul roping him deep right there. That makes it hard.
That's tough.
A little bit closer. A little bit closer.
Keeps putting his head down.
Looks like Jen went to go get the truck. I think maybe looking at the fella in the truck and giving him one of those might have worked instead of riding down there and escorting him back to action there.
Well, yeah, she can see that John Paul's got that bull rope deep. I mean, someone needs help over it, looks like to me.
Jen run off and left everybody behind at that point. That's all I need to say. Actions speak louder than words, and the judges can see that.
Oh, John Paul.
You get sideways, Larry.
JP broke his rope.
Sorry, JP.
Oh, yeah. That worked.
Oh, man, now he's hot and mad. He knows that.
Rope broke.
Let's just load this one and get the next one.
Keep coming, keep coming.
Looks like they're gonna load the first bull now. That was a great plan the way it come together right there. They got him loaded.
Yeah. Now they're going after the second.
My rope's broken right now. I had to get real creative, real quick, and build a Honda. It's the eye of the rope, so I can finish the day.
You need to keep pressure off of them so they don't jump out.
Go ahead, Hunter. Yeah.
Good job, Hunter.
Hunter's got a loop on him. Looks like Tyler's about to get a second rope on him.
Behind you.
I got it. Hold on. So the second bull, we have 2 ropes on him. That's all we need. That's it. We just need 2 head ropes, 1 guy on either side to keep the bull from running up either side of the rope. JP walks up there and heels him, yanks the bull down, the ropes get all tangled, not a big deal. I'm not even mad. Well, then when the trailer's backing up,
Keep on coming.
my rope's tight, I've got him. JP takes and hauls the wrong way, and I mean like yanks my horse the wrong way, and is just jerking my horse for no reason.
Hang on, guys.
Hey,
You're pulling him
hold
in
on,
different
hold on.
directions. Hold on, JP.
What are you doing? Why would you do that?
You're gonna have to let him up.
let him get up right now.
I got him around the trailer.
I need your rope, Katie Joe.
You got him by the trailer, but you ain't got help to pull him in the trailer. You think your horse can pull him by itself?
Hey, I think I can do it.
Well, if you want to do it, here, have it at it then. You think you're cowboy enough to do it?
Yeah.
Do it, son. He didn't have nothing under control. He's just a young kid with a lot of mouth to him. That's the difference from messing with rodeo cowboy and convention cowboy.
JP showing some fire there.
He'll be in the trailer. You just
Yeah.
watch. You watch. He'll be in the trailer.
Because we're doing it right. That's why he's going to be in the
right.
trailer.
He'll be in the trailer. You watch. I said, dude, don't jerk my horse. He took that as I don't need him heeled down. I don't need your help. That wasn't what I was saying. It wasn't that I didn't need his help. I didn't need that kind of help.
First fire I've seen from him.
But it makes me mad when someone calls me a punk kid because nobody's ever given me anything. I've had to work for everything I have. I'm self-made. I had to teach myself all this stuff. And here I am going up against guys who, you know, they're fortunate enough to have a mom and dad and grandpa that rodeoed and cowboyed their whole life. And here I am just trying to make it on my own. And to be called a punk kid, man, it just irks me.
There you go. Go,
Take him, go.
Hold on.
And I yanked him in the trailer just like I said I could. Hey, I get where you're coming from, but I feel like we just pull him in wrong directions.
At
Hey,
the point
JP.
you needed 2 horses to help you out. Now, if you're going to be arrogant about that, then I can't do a big voice.
It's all right, brother. It's all right.
You know, Tyler lacks a lot of experience, and you know, I had a lot of respect for him, and today, I mean, it's gone. For trying to play hero today.
Man, and me and JP's deal, I get he's upset
terrible.
too.
Terrible.
It
today.
is a heated moment. JP's a good hand, but I think we messed up when he roped the other one. We had 2 ropes. It's hard for me to take kind of the criticism today of JP saying you're just some punk kid because I'm not some punk kid. I'm from Michigan originally, you know, and you don't really see cowboys come from Michigan. You hear of them being from Oklahoma and Texas, and here I am neck and neck with them, showing them, hey, cowboys can come from anywhere.
All right, guys, good job. Looks like we've had a little bit of separation here, a little tension. Y'all can work that out or not. But anyway, you got the job done. Next time I see you, we'll be in the arena for elimination. One of you's going home.
Thank you.
Well, I just don't like whenever people mouth off like that, you know?
Coming up.
It happened so fast. I missed. I just seen Hunter rope it.
You know, If I really wanted to call somebody out, he's the person to call.
You did awesome, Hunter.
Yeah, you timed it out
that's how you
perfectly.
do
When
it.
he stuck his head out, you timed it perfect.
Yeah, that was a pretty loop.
Honestly,
I mean,
I was never stressed out on our ends. Without a doubt in my mind, JP took this deal south today. The bulls at no point were gonna get away from me or Hunter. There was never a time where I was like, oh, my rope's slipping, my saddle's I mean, I didn't even break a sweat, neither did my horse.
What was preached and preached and preached at the beginning did not go through.
no.
All I kept hearing was, let's stay together, guys. Let's stay together, guys. Let's stay together, guys.
Then why then when you roped that one, did JP haul over there and rope the other one?
Heat of the moment, panic.
He didn't put me in a bind.
Or
He didn't
me.
really
Yeah.
put you in a bind.
I wasn't
he
in no
put
bind.
you in a bind.
Yeah, I was trying to get it on him, and like every time I'd get close enough to throw and like try to aim at his head when it was bobbing, he'd hook at my horse, and I'd have to back off and redo it. I don't feel like it went as smooth as it could have. Tempers were lost, the plan wasn't stuck to, and we all had to adjust. And when you have to adjust in a situation like that, when you have to handle big cattle, sometimes it's hard to come back from that.
There were a few times in there where there was not teamwork making the dream work.
I mean, I missed that bull, that first shot.
Hey, it's okay to miss one.
I think so, yeah, I did
Where
too.
I would fault you is you put a strain on your horse you didn't have to when you jerked the last one in.
Well, I felt like JP was telling me my horse couldn't pull him in.
And I heard that. I heard
I mean,
what was
I would have
said.
loved for help, but I don't know if you've seen or not.
I saw
He
that.
jerked him backwards and jerked my horse. That was where I got mad.
See, and I didn't see that part.
I get holding him
didn't
down,
see that part.
but don't jerk my horse 5 foot the wrong way.
I get that.
That's why I got mad.
Listen, this is all I got to say and I'll be done. At the end of the day, when you're messing with bucking bulls or any kind of rodeo cattle or any even hot Angus, Brangus, Bramer, it doesn't matter. You've got to stay calm. When you miss, JP panicked and it snowballed for him. In a situation with any bull, you cannot expect to do it all by yourself. I mean, you got to have help, especially in a situation like this. There's enough help. This is a team effort.
Oh,
And hey, this don't mean that I don't like JP, because I still like JP
Yeah.
a lot. It just rubbed me the wrong way because I was already
It
frustrated,
would've rubbed
and
me
then
the
my
wrong
horse
way.
is already sore. And what I meant, I didn't mean it like, hey, I don't need you at all. I meant I don't need that. If you want to hold him down,
I get what you're saying
hold
now.
him down, but don't yank my
Right,
horse
yeah,
5
absolutely.
foot
And
backwards.
like I said, I didn't see
No,
that.
that's okay.
what's up, girl?
Not much, just trying to get this horse cooled out. Worked hard. But I'll take care of him because he takes care of me.
Absolutely.
That's one thing my dad's always preached, you know. You gotta take care of your partner. My dad is true blue, old school cowboy to the bone. He's a cowboy's cowboy, but he's a cowman as well. Growing up watching my dad, that's what I strive to be. I want to be able to do it all and do it well.
So where do you stand on y'all's family's ranch? I mean, are you the manager? Are you the main boss? Like, what's the deal?
Yeah, I pretty much am the main cow boss. I run day-to-day operations. You know, my dad handed it over to me. He's like, here, I need you to do this, and I think you're up to it. It's definitely my way or the highway at my ranch. I will work next to anybody. I will do any job on that ranch, but you're gonna do it my way because my way's the correct way. And some guys don't take that very well. Luckily, I'm in a position where they all respect me and I haven't had too many issues, but I'm sure you've dealt with guys that doesn't want to take direction.
Oh yeah, we've had to weed out some of the ones that, you know, would get a little bowed up and mouthy about it, but we have a really good crew that we work with all the time now, and, you know, and they respect me the same like yours does you.
Yeah. Where do you stand on your deal?
I help Dad with the day-to-day. Like I said, if he needs cows checked and, you know, rode through or fed or did anything, you know, I'm kind of the go-to guy. When he tells me, hey, it's fully yours, then I'll step up and I'll feel the responsibility. But now I just do whatever he needs me to do. From the time I was a little kid, I knew that if I didn't continue this legacy, it would go away. My family is all girls, and unfortunately my sister passed away a few years back, and so it falls all onto me. And I didn't ever second guess it. I always knew that I wanted to be a cowboy and I wanted to take over the business. If you win, do you have a plan? Like, what are you gonna do with these cows you take home?
You know, I do have a plan. Like, I just want to be able to give back to what they've given to me, because my dad has given me so much. Because, you know, I remember a day when I was a kid that my dad would punch cows all day and drive a truck all night hauling cattle just to make ends meet. Winning this competition is really important to me. it would go on to prove to my dad that I am truly worthy to what he has built. To, here you go, look what I've done. Like, I can contribute to what this ranch does every year. What about you? What would you do with it?
You know, man, I'm gonna make that gift keep on giving. I'm gonna pick me out a really good bull and you know, keep some heifers back every year and try to build something. I'm 5th generation, and I mean, I'm looking forward to keeping that legacy going. That's something that's been always important to every member of our family.
You know, working with family sometimes is the hardest thing you'll ever do, but it's also the most rewarding thing you'll ever do.
I think so.
Coming up, the first thing I want to talk about is the plan. And did you stay with the plan? Who wants to talk about it?
Right here, this man. He was there to back him up. To back him up, let me talk.
Elimination is right around the corner. You don't even know who's safe and who's not. Nobody has an immunity buckle. So I think everybody is nervous and jittery today.
Because $50,000 worth of cattle is a life-changing amount of money.
I don't know if y'all gonna point fingers at me, but that's how I saw it. You know, we're all supposed to go to one bull, cover him first. You missed him, but that doesn't mean quit on him, you know?
Right.
So.
It happened so fast. As soon as I missed, I just seen Hunter rope it.
You know, that put him kind of in a bad position, because if I really wanted to call somebody out, he's the person to call, because we were supposed to go after that one bull first, all together as a team, get him done, get him loaded, go on to the next one.
Fair enough.
Tonight's elimination, and I just don't feel too good about it at all. The others try to point fingers at me, but no, who wouldn't? They know I'm a tough competitor. They know that I'm a cowboy, not just a rodeo cowboy. They know I can rope a little bit. They know I can read cattle. They know I can sort cattle. And you know, who wouldn't be intimidated a little bit? So I'm gonna have to buck up and tell a very good case of why I deserve to be here.
Hey, he's gonna try to throw you under the bus. He's gonna say that you are the one that didn't go with the plan. That's not true at all. We was on the same page. If I missed, you was gonna rope him, the other one. Period. Just don't say nothing to give him any time to prepare, just no. Because I'll have your back on it.
I think that might be the only place you got him, you know, like, make a really good point there.
Right?
If Trace asks me who I feel like should go home tonight, I'm gonna tell him exactly who I think. I feel like JP should be going home today. He was pretty reckless. There was mistakes made, and wasn't me.
Don't worry, I'll have your back. I just want to let you know I wouldn't say nothing so that way he has time to think on it. But I'll speak up.
There's some people coming after him, and it's not gonna be pretty. Stakes are gonna be high here in a few minutes.
You know, we have elimination coming up. Nobody got the immunity buckle, and who knows how this is gonna go down.
You know, somebody's going home tonight, and I really hope it's not me. I couldn't get a loop on that bull and help JP, and that was my bad. I hope the judges recognize that I was really trying to keep everybody out of a bind.
Good evening, Cowboys.
Good evening.
5 of you left. Somebody's going home. No immunity buckle tonight, so we don't have to deal with that. The first thing I want to talk about a little bit is the plan. The plan that y'all had, and did you stay with the plan?
Yes, sir.
No, sir.
Who wants to talk about it?
No, we did stay with the plan.
We stayed with the plan.
The plan was to keep them cows together and let them go slow and filter through us. He missed the first one, and the second one was right there in front of me. I dabbed it on him. He got him. He's there. It's safe. JP hauls butt after the other one, runs the bull down, ropes him around the brisket. His rope breaks. Katie Joe can't catch him. It's an unsafe situation with a bull.
So you're saying the plan was focus on one bull at a time, or
One bull at a time, yes, sir.
One bull at a time, yes, sir, Trace.
So what are you trying to say, JP?
I'm trying to say that he took a loop at the first bull, he missed, that was pursuit, right? What would he have done if he caught that bull? He needed help behind him. Who was there? Right here, this man. He was there to back him up. To back him up, because why? Because let me talk.
I seen him miss, I seen the bull clear out, and I saw an opportunity to shut him down, and I took it, and I did catch him deep, but that's where I needed backup.
I understand what you're saying, but our plan was to never run the bulls. If I was to miss, we were just gonna keep balling them up.
So that bull was walking.
Are you gonna let me talk? Because I let you talk.
Yeah, I'll let you talk.
Okay.
Go on, say it.
I'm trying. So I missed. Hunter was swinging, and he knew if I missed or hooked it on him, he was either going to put another head rope on the bull I had or rope the one just like he did. Let the others go to the other end and simmer. Under no circumstance were we ever going to line them out and run them. I thought it was awful funny to me that the guy that had the least amount of experience with bulls wanted to have the game plan, and then he just stuck with his game plan.
Can I say something though? I smell two young men afraid of an older man that's been around this stuff. I may not be the best at roping, but I got a lot of heart and a lot of grit and a lot of passion for what I do. And if I made a mistake, I'd own up to it.
We're in a barbed wire trap. You just got lucky that when your rope broke, he wasn't so hot that he ran through the fence.
Anybody else see this?
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
that's exactly what happened.
I think you're wrong.
Me?
Yeah. JP had his hook before you got your rope on him, Hunter.
Really?
That's what we saw. Tyler's rope broke loose. Now John Paul's after him. Hunter just roped one at the same time.
It happened pretty fast, bam, bam, and going
It
from
happened
there.
too fast. We said we were gonna stick together because that can be a dangerous situation. We were gonna try to go as slow as possible. I preached that several times before we ever took off, and ropes go to flying. I see JP come tight, I'm going to get the truck. And then I look up and we've got ropes tight in two places, and I feel like I'm in a rock and a hard place over who I go to at that point to help.
The biggest thing I think that brings me to is now we got two bulls roped, and the way John Paul had his bull roped, it wasn't safe. You know, bull's deep, and Katie couldn't get a throw, tried to hook his horse a couple times. At that point, for me, you got to abandon the ship, Jen, right there, and you got to go get in the fight.
And I get that. I was really unsure because I knew he wasn't tied on solid, and I'm thinking to myself, those boys got two ropes on that other bull. We could get him loaded quick. All JP has to do is turn loose of his dally. We'll regroup and go back after him. That was my thought process there.
I don't think you ever turn one loose,
I don't think
especially
you
a
ever
bull
turn
like
one
that.
loose.
You guys are very fortunate that when the rope did break, bad luck, good luck, but that he didn't get gone.
And we saw JP after your rope broke, you got tied up, you went back, and you healed that bull. If you made a mistake at the very top because there was some kind of mess up in communication or whatever, or you roped that bull a little deep or whatever, you redeemed yourself at the end. And we thought you did a good job today. Go sit on the fence. You're safe from elimination.
Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Good job, JP.
Thank you.
Walking to the fence, I kind of wanted to cry right there because I was so worried that the judges didn't think that I did good, but the judges were on my side, you know, and it felt awesome.
All right, 4 of you left. Somebody's gonna go home. Four of you left. Somebody's gonna go home. All right. Hey, Joe, I wanted to ask you something. Now, you've been so solid with the rope.
Yes, sir.
So solid. And then today, with that bull standing right there, you missed twice. Did you just not want any piece of him or what?
No, sir, I was just trying to hurry, and I just kind of rushed everything, and that bull would come at me, and my horse would shy, and I'd have to stand a little further back to try to get it on him, and I just didn't ever feel like I got a very good go at him. It was just a bad day for me.
Everybody has a bad day, so
Yes,
it's a bad
sir.
time for it to show up right there.
And,
Yes, sir, I
after 2
agree.
loops, I thought you should have went for a foot.
Sure.
Man, our plan was to get 2 head ropes on him, and they didn't want to heel those bulls down, so I was just trying to stick with what I was told to do.
I mean, your plan had done changed, so
Yeah.
you got to do what you think you got to
At
do.
this point, there's no plan.
Right.
Tyler, boy, there was some rough stuff going on there at the end.
You got him by the trailer, but you ain't got help to pull him in the trailer. You think your horse can pull him by itself?
Hey, I think I can do it.
Well, if you want to do it, here, have it at it then.
JP, he was frustrated, I was frustrated, and when he made the comment about my horse not pulling him in the trailer, I take pride in my horse, and I just fired back at him, and I lost my cool.
You missed that first loop today,
Yes, sir.
right out of the gate, so, I mean, I have reason to send you home.
Sure.
You think or no?
I don't believe so. I mean, I missed the bull, but I just tried to dab it on him there. Maybe I should have trotted up, but I wanted to stick with our original game plan and not running them.
Katie Jo, you missed twice today. I could send you home.
Yes, sir.
You think you ought to stay?
Yes, sir, I do.
Why?
Because this is the first time I've slipped up with a rope. And I mean, I've stayed consistent and I've showed up every day and done my job. And I was trying hard to help JP. I mean, I was riding in there trying to get a better shot, putting my horse and myself in danger. You know, that bull chased me around, hooked at me a couple times, and I didn't get any help from anybody.
So, Hunter, I'm gonna ask you, who you think I'll go home?
Like y'all said, they were in a bind, and me and Tyler had that one secured like that, 2 ropes on his head, pulling him tight. He wasn't going nowhere, wasn't gonna hook either of our horses or get in a bind. He was there, and Jim should have went over and helped.
Jennifer, I want to ask you, in the Immunity Buckle Challenge, did you ever rope anything?
I top knotted a couple, but no, I didn't ever get my tip down and didn't get anything roped. No, sir.
You run a ranch with your father, I believe?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Am I right in that he's kind of turning things over to you?
Yes, sir.
You're
Yes, sir.
running the ranch.
Day-to-day operations, absolutely.
You're the boss.
Yes, sir.
You know what I thought I saw today, and I discussed it with Buddy and Cash? I thought I saw the boss. You went over there and you told the truck driver where to go, but then you just kind of eased along and it was kind of like, all right, you hands take care of this, and I'll bring the truck.
No, that is not how I meant it at all, whatsoever. I thought, my understanding was we had to stay with the truck until he was totally backed up.
Well, that wasn't the case, but if it were the case, and you saw somebody over there in a bind, that's the hot spot, and you needed to be there.
And that's where I slipped up.
That's where you slipped up.
Yep.
Thank you. Gather your personals.
Yes, sir.
Get the trail. It's been a real pleasure.
Nice to meet you.
You too.
You know, I really felt like Tyler was the one that should have gone home tonight. Tyler absolutely made the wrong choice, and he's gotten himself in a bind several times trying to talk over people in Hot Dog. But they saw it from a different light. They thought I should have gone to help instead of get the bull loaded. That's where we saw things differently. So I'm going home, and Tyler gets to live to fight another day. I have been run over. I've been almost drowned by another competitor. I've had a bruised kidney, and I've still showed up for my team every time. I've showed grit and determination, and I can walk out of here with my head held high. If these guys are ever looking for work, I'd absolutely hire Katie Jo or JP. The other two, they need to stay in the arena.
Come down here, JP. It was an interesting day. Congratulations for being in the Final Four on the Ultimate Cowboy Showdown. If you thought this competition was hard before today, it's just the beginning. We'll do this again tomorrow. And I'm gonna be even more critical of you for it.
Do not stump your toe around me, because I'll see it.
Yes, sir.